Hello, NBA fans, and welcome back to another episode of the NBA, The Week That Was. The 10th episode of this podcast will have a slightly different format. Due to a monumental trade, I will only cover 3 games from the past week. I want to focus more on the outer news of the NBA. Also, I will have more of my own opinions on the games rather than being a neutral news giver. Overall, I hope you enjoy this unique episode and stick around as this series evolves. Anyways, let's get right back into the newest edition of the NBA, The Week That Was. On Sunday, the Bucks lost to the Thunder 118 to 112. Despite the loss, MVP runner-up Giannis Antetokounmpo had a strong 27-point, 18-rebound night. On the other end, the outstanding scoring of Paul George led the way for the underdog OKC Thunder. He had 36 points and 13 rebounds. The Milwaukee Bucks surge to the best record in the NBA hasn't surprised me at all. They got rid of the horrid Jabari Parker, who was literally doing nothing, and they got Brook Lopez and Ersan Ilyasova to bring 2 perimeter-centric big men. However, the biggest difference maker in this Bucks turnaround has been head coach Mike Budenholzer. He left the Atlanta Hawks to join a team that can actually showcase his coaching talent. He developed a perfect system with the perfect players. Give Giannis the ball, let the beast drive in, draw 2 defenders, and kick it out to anyone because they can all hit the 3. It's just brilliant to watch, and he deserves another Coach of the Year. Having said that, the OKC Thunder exceeded my expectations for them this year. Besides Westbrook, George, and Schroeder, no one else on that team could create for themselves. I thought there was no way a team with 3 scorers could be a top 3 seed in the West. Well, guess I was wrong. With Paul George having a career season and Westbrook averaging yet again another triple-double, the Thunder are sitting on a 7-game win streak, and it does not look like they will stop. The GOAT is back. I repeat, the greatest player of all time is back. LeBron James came back to defeat the Clippers after missing 18 games with a groin injury. The Lakers won 123 to 120 in a great overtime game. Of course, when the GOAT comes back, he has to go off. LeBron had 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists in 40 minutes of action. Lou Williams did come off the bench and score 24 points for the Clippers, but it wasn't nearly enough. The Lakers have been involved in some serious trade drama, but I'll discuss that in detail later on this week. What I really want to talk about is their fall off. When LeBron went out on Christmas Day, the Lakers were in a comfortable 4th place. 18 games later, they are sitting in 10th and are fighting with 4 different teams for the 8th seed. The Lakers really need to understand that LeBron can't do everything, so Luke Walton and company have to do something to win games. LeBron is aging, and more injuries will come. With players like Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma, I don't understand how you can't devise a game plan to beat teams like the Knicks or the Cavs. It just does not make sense to me. I give the Lakers 2 options. 1. Execute the trade for Anthony Davis. 2. If that can't happen, fire Luke Walton. Get a coach who can keep the veterans and the young guns happy and get them wins. This whole episode, this game was the most fun to write about and analyze. The best team in the NBA, of course my favorite team, the Atlanta Hawks, beat the dismal Phoenix Suns 118 to 112. Our young, should-be all-stars Trae Young and John Collins balled out. Trae had 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. 17 of those points came in clutch during the 4th quarter. John Collins, also known as John the Baptist, was 1 point shy of tying his career high by putting up 35 points and 16 rebounds. Keep in mind, this guy was the 19th pick in the 2017 draft. Trae Young has also been showing his true potential over the last 5 games. He is averaging 28 points and 8 assists tonight. The amount of Trae haters I get when I wear his jersey is outrageous. How is a rookie averaging 17 points and 7 assists a night a bust and trash? Haters are just the worst. Okay, now let's get to the good stuff. At 11 a.m. on Thursday morning, the legendary Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN tweeted that Kristaps Porzingis expressed his concerns and frustrations in a meeting with the Knicks franchise. Porzingis was drafted 4th overall in the 2015 draft and was set to become the face of the Knicks franchise. Porzingis, also known as a unicorn, is a 7'3" Latvian who can shoot the 3 with consistency and absolutely demolish opponents at the rim. Being so good at a mere 23 years old, his ceiling was out of reach. He could continue to grow and possibly be the next Dirk. However, With the Knicks' poor management of his torn ACL injury and their inability to get wins, Porzingis wanted out. At 1 p.m., just 2 hours later, Porzingis was traded to the Dallas Mavericks. What? What? In literally 2 hours, the Knicks altered the future of their franchise. The Knicks were sending Porzingis, Trey Burke, Courtney Lee, and Tim Hardaway Jr. and draft picks to the Mavs for DeAndre Jordan, Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews, and even more draft picks. This crazy trade has had some big impacts on both teams. I'll first tell you guys what happens based off this trade and eventually who I think won this trade. First, the Mavericks. Let's talk about the positives first. The Mavericks probably just paired one of the greatest rookies of all time with another young star. Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis will tear apart the NBA in years to come. This young duo also becomes great free agent bait. Let's go to the negatives. The big-name free agents will be tough to get this year, with the Mavs absorbing the massive deals of Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee. Their multi-year deals will mean money problems for the Mavs. Another big issue for the Mavs is that Porzingis will not play this season due to his torn ACL. If the Mavs wanted to win now, that isn't happening with the losses of Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan. Next, the Knicks. Let's go with the positives first. With the loss of Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee's deals, the Knicks are reported to have $75 million of salary cap space going to the offseason. That means they have $75 million to spend on big-name free agents. That's 2 big contracts. That could mean one of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, or a combination of many players could be rocking a Knicks jersey next year. Let's go to the negatives. With the Knicks acquiring Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan, winning will be easier for the Knicks. They don't want to do that right now. The Knicks' main purpose is to draft one of the greatest prospects of all time in Duke Zion Williamson. Winning games will not help them get the number 1 pick and a guarantee on Zion. To wrap it up, the Porzingis blockbuster was a big risk for both teams. However, the open cap space in the big market of New York eventually makes them my winner of this trade. With $75 million to spend, 2 free agents coming to New York could absolutely change everything in the NBA. And with that, my friends, we end this episode of the NBA, the week that was. I do have a message I want to share with you guys. I know some people might want me to talk about the Anthony Davis drama in this episode. However, I'll be waiting till after the trade deadline and on the next episode to talk about his drama. Whether or not the trade happens, my next episode will guaranteed be a trade deadline special. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope to catch you on the trade deadline special of the NBA, the week that was. See ya!